Imagine yourself seated across from a girl you find incredibly attractive. The magnetic pull of her presence captivates your attention. Her eyes glisten with enthusiasm as she wholeheartedly engages in a conversation with you. The ambiance is warm and inviting, like a cozy cafe or perhaps a dimly lit restaurant, setting the scene for an enchanting interaction. You both lean in towards each other, sharing stories and connecting over shared interests. Each story builds upon the last, fostering a sense of connection and mutual understanding. There's an undeniable chemistry in the air, a promising potential for something more. However, during this smoothly flowing and delightful exchange, the conversation takes an unexpected turn. A sensitive topic was brought up that created an uncomfortable pause. The easy flow of dialogue falters, replaced by an awkward silence. Her demeanor shifts slightly with a flicker of discomfort on her face, and what was once a promising connection now hangs in the balance due to this unexpected turn. This illustrates the delicate nature of navigating conversations on a date, where the wrong choice of conversation can unravel the promising chemistry and leave both parties feeling unsettled, especially in the initial stages of an interaction. In these early stages, there's a multitude of topics that can swiftly turn a date into a minefield, jeopardizing the promising rapport you've been building. Delving into the wrong subjects can swiftly sour the atmosphere and derail the chemistry. In this video, we are counting down 5 of these topics that will instantly ruin your date. Make sure you stick around till the end, because the last one might just be the most important. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off at number 5 is family issues. When interacting with a girl you've just met for the first or perhaps the second time, avoid delving into family matters. She's not your therapist. Your date doesn't want to hear anything about how you and your dad don't get along, how you hate your mom, or how growing up, you and your sister used to get into fistfights all the time, and now you hate each other. These are very unattractive things to bring up on a date, and quite frankly, no one really wants to hear them. Now, I'm not saying you need to lie and say things like, "Oh yeah, we're like the greatest family ever," but you definitely don't want to talk about these things with someone who's a stranger and is probably going to judge you negatively on it. The reality is, if the girl you're dating comes from a stable family where both parents are together, she's going to feel really weird that you're putting her in that position. Keep those things to yourself until later on in the relationship, if anything. As a matter of fact, you're probably better off not telling a girl you're dating these types of issues anyway. It's very unattractive. Number 4, financial problems. This is something you should never talk about on a first date, second date, or any date for that matter. Listen, you shouldn't be talking to your date about how you're barely making rent or how your head is barely above water. This is literally repulsive to women. You need to understand that as a man, women are looking for men that they can defer to and rely on like a stable rock. So disclosing your financial problems to a woman is literally putting her in an awkward position because they're not used to having to provide for a man. And if a girl does provide for a man, guess what? It's just a matter of time until that relationship is over. You asking a woman for money or revealing that you're financially unstable, especially to a girl that you just met, is like her asking you to put makeup on her face. It's weird, and it's going to make you feel awkward. That's exactly how a woman feels when she has to babysit you and help you out with your financial issues. It's just not attractive. She's not your mom. As a man, you need to be self-sufficient at all times. Number 3, past partners. The third thing you never want to talk about on a date is your ex-girlfriend or past partners, especially if you're going to speak negatively about them. It's a question that always comes up on a date. When was your last relationship? Whatever you say, keep it nice and succinct. Do not speak negatively about your ex or exes. Listen, if you speak negatively about an ex, the girl you're on a date with is automatically going to assume you would speak negatively about her to the next person as well. Talking smack about people behind their back is low-value behavior. Even if your last relationship was not good and your ex was a psycho, do not speak negatively about her to the girl you're currently on a date with, because it's going to reflect poorly on you, regardless of how crazy your ex was. Number 2, politics. The second worst thing to talk about on a date is politics. I don't care if you're a Trump supporter and your date shows up wearing a MAGA hat. Do not talk about politics with a girl you're dating. It never ends well, especially on a first or second date. There are many married couples that don't even talk about politics with each other. Why do you think that is? It tends to get people's feelings riled up, and it's just not a good talking point, especially between two strangers. Even if the person has the same political affiliations as you, it's still not a good idea. Number 1. The red pill. The number one thing you don't want to talk about on dates is the red pill. If you're consuming this type of content, then you most likely know what the red pill is. Do not talk about female nature or the unflattering realities between men and women. It's one thing to hint at these concepts without delving too deeply, as a casual mention might spark curiosity or add a layer of depth to the conversation. However, imagine bringing a copy of The Rational Male on a date and launching into a discourse about hypergamy or dissecting the intricacies of female nature. It could swiftly turn into an uncomfortable monologue. While the book provides profound wisdom and strategies for understanding intergender dynamics, discussing these theories extensively during a date might come across as off-putting or overly analytical. It can create an awkward scenario where the focus shifts from the organic flow of the date to a lecture on theoretical concepts. Listen, your focus should be on embodying these high-value behaviors rather than overtly discussing them. Demonstrating a nuanced understanding of these dynamics through your actions and attitudes during a date is more impactful than talking about theories from a book. Your aim should be to seamlessly integrate these insights into your behavior, making them an inherent part of your character, rather than a topic of discussion. In essence, while the content of The Rational Male may hold significance, a date isn't the platform to talk about it. It's about embodying those principles naturally, without making the other person feel like they're attending a seminar on relationship theories. Instead, focus on building a genuine connection by having interesting conversations and displaying those high-value traits through your demeanor and actions. And there you have it, 5 sensitive topics you should never discuss on a date. Remember, these are just the tip of the iceberg. There are a multitude of topics that can completely ruin a date, especially during those initial interactions. In fact, many of you watching probably have first-hand experience with this, bringing up a topic that completely ruined a date you were on. Share your experiences in the comments below so we can build a list together and help each other navigate the complexities of dating. With that said, don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with a friend who always ruins his dates with awkward conversations. See you in the next video.